I would like to address Councilman Patil through the chair, if I may.
Yes, you may.
Councilman Patil, several months ago, Councilwoman Ship Freeman got up and congratulated you for some award that you gave to somebody, I'm not sure what it was, concerning South Asian women who are victims of domestic violence. I was interested in that, and I came up to speak to you. You gave me a card. You said to call you. I tried to contact you at least twice with no communication back from you. So I would have rather done this privately, but since I haven't heard from you, I have to come publicly. So I would like to know what this group is who deals with women of domestic violence, victims of domestic violence, because you know we have a domestic violence team in Edison, and they're the ones who vet these organizations before they send women or men to these places where you can help them. So those are the questions I had to ask you. I did not want to ask you publicly. I'm asking that you contact me or speak with me privately, or you can do it publicly, but I really would appreciate you telling me who these people are who are sending these women to these places.
Thank you, Council President, if I
Yes.
can.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Ms. Jaffrey, coming here. I know you tried contacting me, but I do not represent any organization, any official capacity that deals with domestic violence. If someone reach out to me specifically about this concern, I don't really participate in the per se the case, but I do refer them to the people that I know around who can help them. The whole idea of the group or the people who we acknowledge for their commitment to resolve some of these issues are not really on domestic violence, but about mitigating the family-related issues, which could turn into domestic violence. So the whole idea of that group is more of soothing the relationship within a family by talking to both the sides of the houses and all that. And possibly if they want to go to the other extent, then they do refer it to the other organization. If you'd like me to introduce to that group, I'll be happy to do that. But I will have to reach out to those folks who are involved, and especially this is more in the South Asian community, to be very specific and to be very honest with you. Happy to connect with those guys, but I need to talk to them before I can connect with you.
Okay, I appreciate that. You understand that there is a
Council
vetting.
President.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Oh.
sorry. There is no back and forth. The speaker is supposed to ask all
Oh,
of
I'm
her
sorry.
questions.
Okay.
I have
Yeah.
a
Are you going to
minute.
gavel them down?
Excuse
See,
me,
he's screaming
sir.
out. Yeah.
Sir, please.
So, Council President, and just so I'm aware of the rules, the questions were asked, the councilman responded. Now there's engaging in a back and forth. What I recommend is that there is a time after the meeting. It seems that the speaker did want to have an off the record conversation. Might be best served that they do that afterwards instead of having the back and forth publicly.
And that's all I wanted to know is that when I
Okay,
can
all right.
speak with him
Yes.
about this.
Yes.
I don't want to have
Yes,
this back
yeah,
and
so
forth.
Diana, you can do this certainly offline after the meeting.
That's what I need to know.
That's fine. Thank you.
Okay,
That's
thank
fine.
you.
Thank you. Okay. Yes, sir.
The first thing I want to say is, my name is Paul. I'm Bong Holio, also known as the Social Justice Water Pipe. Dave, what you should have done is you should have said before that, Mr. Patil, wait, let the speaker finish, or you should have asked the speaker, are you done? So that was incorrect what you did. And you know better. Come on, Dave. You know better than that. So I didn't like that. That I didn't like to say. It's been a couple weeks since we've had a meeting, and well, I want to mention a couple weeks ago, I was here at Borough Hall to try to have an appointment with the mayor, and he was a little upset. It was a little discouraging what happened because I rang the bell, no one came. Somebody else came, rang the bell. Finally, the police were sent out. I never got to speak with Matty. Was there? He was one of the guys, and he's always respectful. I was actually glad to see him. He's always been good. But I couldn't even speak to anybody from like the office, and I'm pretty sure that intercom, you can speak through that intercom and just say, I mean, if the mayor's busy, the mayor's busy. I understand, but I couldn't even get anybody from the office to, in fact, when the internal affairs officer came out and the chief came out, they said, oh, he's not going to want to talk to you. So, well, can you at least ask? You know, I don't know why they were even doing that job. But it seemed like the atmosphere of the office was like nobody wanted to ask him. You know, I don't know what that was all about. As I was making my way to the mayor's office, I walked past all of the pictures on the wall where there used to be artwork. And this is a public hallway, and it has all these pictures of the mayor. I don't understand how that happened. Did the council have any sort of say over that? And I happen to notice that Councilman Richard Brescher is not on any of those photos. How come he doesn't have a fair FaceTime?
It's Bongholio, AKA Social Justice Water Pipe. I'm here in Edison Town Hall. I want to show you the hallway leading to the mayor's office. He took down all the artwork and replaced it with this. Look at this. This is a public hallway. It is a public hallway. He used tax dollars to make these posters up and plaster them all over a public hallway. I mean, is this unreal or what? I mean, you got to be kidding me. Look at this. And then you have an empty box donated by the Edison Art Society. Empty. Come on.
I mean, does anybody think that's okay? That's a public hallway. To remove artwork? I mean, you guys tried to ban my creative expression during the most national tragedy, huge mistake, banning expression, artistic expression. Now we take down the art to put up pictures of the mayor without one of the councilmen on it? That's absurd. That is so absurd. I want to give a shout out to San Joaquin Valley Transparency for highlighting my a video where I had to restore order back to the meeting when Joe cut me off 3 times in a row, which he still never apologized for. Right now, there's only 2 members here who participated in that ban, and like I said last time, Mr. Patel, he at least apologized, and I thanked him for doing that. Somebody said to me, you know, Joe should really apologize for what you did. I laughed. It was a resident who said this. I laughed. He hasn't even apologized to the residents for the mistake that he made. Never apologized. And I'd like to give him an opportunity tonight to apologize to these residents, because when you make a mistake, you're supposed to apologize. I didn't expect an apology for that, but I think the residents, Russ, I think the residents deserve an apology. So I'd like to know if Joe's willing to do that for the residents.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Yes, sir. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm. You get to call. No, I'm going to let this gentleman. I did not see her, but I will get to her. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, President Harris. Hi, I'm Alok Sood. Good evening, everyone. I was here about a month ago on 3/12 regarding the bamboo ordinance and the multiple notices, violations that I received. And everyone here agreed that I shouldn't have received those violations. They do not apply to me. Even the attorney confirmed that, and it's all recorded. It's all there. And now today, I received a certified mail saying that, again, it's saying failure to prevent the spread of bamboo plants to adjoining property. So I don't know, I mean, where all this is coming from. At that point, I was thinking I'm being targeted. Now I feel I'm being harassed. And I mean, where is it going after this? I mean, if this is going on, I'm coming here a few times. Next, I think I may be retaliated against. So I don't know, I mean, I hope the council can help me with all this stuff and can take care of it. All of us were here that day. It's all recorded. The attorney said it. Mr. Poiner also clarified everything. And it was said that it's all grandfather. So I don't know why I'm being harassed now. And again, as a resident also, I don't think it's a good use of resources and time, right? I mean, I got multiple notices, and the thing is, the notices I received them even before the ordinance was approved, which is very efficient on township's part, because normally when you call them and it takes time to get a response back. And this time the ordinance hasn't even passed, and there's two people at my doorstep, giving me notices and violations, even before it passed. So I know last time I was told it's not targeted, but I don't know what it is now. So I'll appreciate if you guys can help resolve this issue.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. As you know, Mr. Sood, I had forwarded this to the various people who might be able to resolve this issue. Do we know where this stands since I sent out those emails today? Sonia, do you have any information?
Council President, I want to be mindful and respectful of any complaints that we do receive, which we have in this instance. The township did not make the complaint, I can certainly say that, but we did receive a complaint from the outside, and I can't really discuss further unless the attorney thinks otherwise. It now has to go through the process, so.
And when we say process, Counselor?
If there's a code violation, that means there's a pending complaint, whether it be brought by the township. I'm assuming in this case it's not by the township.
No.
It's by an individual, potentially a neighbor, I'm guessing. We aren't a party to that, and we can't really speak on that because that's a pending litigated matter that has to play itself out in municipal court. So I'm certain that that you as speaker will have an opportunity to make your case to the judge. And that will be the appropriate forum to explain why you aren't in violation of any local ordinances. But this council can't help you.
The council said last time, even the attorney said last time, I'm not in violation. It's recorded. So why am I?
Well,
I have
then
to
you
go
should
through
you
this
should take
process?
that. If you heard that from somebody, you should take that to the judge and say, Judge, I'm not guilty
But why do I have to waste my time on this thing when I'm not even in violation?
because we didn't bring the charges.
Mr. Sood, if this was brought from outside, from a neighbor or whomever, then this is going to have to go through its process. There's nothing that we can do until it goes through the process.
I understand, but the process is.
I was going to, Council President, I was just going to address that. I mean, if we're not going to allow back and forth for other people in the room, we have to at least take this offline.
Thank you.
I think the subject is important, but we can't have one not follow the other. Thank you.
You're correct.
I guess if I could just say just
So Mr. Sood, I think in conclusion, unfortunately, it appears that this is going to have to go through the process, and that this is not something that was done by the township to target you. It sounds like it was done at the behest of a neighbor. And so this has to then go through the due process. So you can certainly, ask to have a further offline discussion with our counselor about this, but for now, that's all that we can say about it.
I understand.
No,
I
I'm sorry,
understand
sir.
it's a neighbor, but the
I'm
thing
sorry,
is-
I'm sorry, sir. Your time is up.
Council President,
Yes.
before you call, I just want to make the comment that, this gentleman did come to the last council meeting. We had extensive discussion that he is not targeted. This notice was incorrect, what was provided to him. Administration, corrected that. Attorney on the dais said, hey, you're not targeted, and we all understand. However, now someone says that this is a result of the notice that was sent, which we all agreed that it was not sent in a proper way. So my question to attorney here is, this is insane. This is not a fair treatment to the resident. Before even the ordinance was passed, we are talking about the summons here. What I would say here is either we can't have the resident go to the court and prove that, hey, this is what the council and everybody discussed, and now the judge has to you have to understand his mindset, the stress level, I would not use the word harassment, but this is, it's going that route. What my ask there is, in the question to attorneys, if I make a complaint about my neighbor, will you send a summons to him straight? That would trigger the civil war in the township. We cannot afford to do that. There has to be first notice, second notice, have them deal with the zoning department or the health department talk to them, review the ordinance, show to the resident. There has to be some courtesy back and forth. In fact, the reason I'm talking about this matter is because this happened in the middle of our ordinance passage. Yes, we do have an old ordinance, but again, we were trying to clarify there, and now, and you can probably Mr. Deal also know that, when there was a conversation saying, hey, zoning officer didn't stop there, and I said, I have the video, I can share, and I did share with all the council colleagues. And that time we said, hey, let's not talk about this. He's not targeted. We have the set process. His situation is grandfathered. Probably we can discuss that more offline. But hey, he's getting the registered letter. I don't know whether that communication did not go back to the health department, what happened on this dais, or that did not go to the zoning department. I don't know who sent the summons. That should have happened, and the resident doesn't have to come here and explain, what he's going through. So my ask here is very simple. If I complain tomorrow about my neighbor, will you send him a summons for something that probably he is not of guilty, or there is not even a legitimate reason? That's my question to you.
I don't know. I don't run the code department, so I can't tell you what code would do in those circumstances.
Okay, then that question will be to
So
the.
if I could clarify, so I just want to correct your statement. So we had the meeting, and it was discussed between zoning and health, in fact, addressed this particular issue. After the meeting, there was a new complaint. And so it is addressing a new complaint. Again, I cannot go into the specifics of a complainant and what they're saying, but if our folks are receiving calls, I'm explaining to you the procedure, we do go out and take a look. If they're in violation, yes, a summons or a warning may be issued. Initially would be a warning, but that is the process. Now, if they're not in violation, there's nothing to issue.
Okay. I think, again, if I keep talking about this, I'll talk for an hour. If the meeting happened and hopefully they all understood the ordinance that was passed by this body, if they would have listened to what attorney said about grandfathering, I think he would have received the first warning after that rather than a summons. Because what he received the first warning was way before even we were talking about this ordinance. The process should have restarted rather than carrying from the prior one. And I know where the issue landed up about his particular property, but he's not just one. You will see hundreds of those complaints, and that word I use, it's a civil war. People will start complaining about each other, and then you will say, okay, send them a summons and let the court decide. It's not a way to administer.
Councilman, when this body adopts a policy, it is our responsibility to executed. And if we are not responsive to that, then we clearly aren't following our own ordinances, and that simply what was the procedure that was followed.
Okay, if that's the case, to Council President, I'm going to send you at least 100 of those complaints which are not grandfathered, about the fences, about the illegal construction, about many, many things, and let's see if you want to send them a summons. Thank you, Council President.
Council President. I wasn't a big fan of this ordinance when we were discussing it, although I supported it, the council was in favor. But it's always been customary that if you have an issue with your property line, whether it's a tree or bamboo, it would be a civil matter to discuss in court. So the fact that we are involved now, I guess through the council here, as it grows case by case, it may be an opportunity that will repeal the entire ordinance and just leave it in the civil matter. So, I mean, it's one more thing our zoning officer's going out there for. I mean, I do agree with you, but then I don't know your neighbor either and how much they don't like the situation. But either way, if we weren't involved, the civil court would be involved. If your bamboo was growing across their backyard into their pool area and causing some type of infrastructure issue, it'd be a civil matter. So case by case, I hope we have a chance to look at this later. But this is one right now. Let's see how it grows. Thank you, Council President.
All right, thank you. In the back? Yes. State your name and address, please.
My name is Samita Bari, and address?
Yes, please.
92 Prestwick Way, Edison, New Jersey.
Thank you.
Good evening, members of the council. I'm Samita Bari, and I'm a freshman at J.P. Stevens High School here in Edison. In the 4 minutes that I speak to you today, you will hear my voice as one that speaks on behalf of an entire generation that is terrified of inheriting a planet where nature is further degraded and where we inhale plastic with every breath. We urge the Edison Town Council to join Metuchen, Franklin Township, Essex County, and many other towns to pass a resolution endorsing the ACR 119 and SCR 43, known as the New Jersey Green Amendment, which has the following wording and another paragraph. Every person has a right to a clean and healthy environment, including pure water, clean air, a safe climate, ecologically healthy habitats, and to the preservation of the natural and scenic qualities of the environment. The state shall not infringe upon these rights. The state's natural resources, among them its waters, air, flora, fauna, climate, and public lands, are the common property of all people, including both present and future generations. The state shall serve as trustee of these resources and shall conserve and maintain them for the benefit of all people. This is not a radical idea. It is the bare minimum. The Green Amendment isn't about politics. It's about ensuring that every person has the basic right to prevent pollution in their backyards, a right, not a luxury. Yes, I know there are environmental regulations out there that do protect us, but the Green Amendment offers protection at the highest level, the state constitution. Rules and regulations can be rolled back with nothing more than a signature. Think about that. Our trees, our lungs, gone with a stroke of a pen. Prioritizing the environment is so important now. Microplastics from the air and water are already in our blood, our organs, and even in babies. Sperm counts are declining, climate change is accelerating, and biodiversity is plummeting. Are we really saying that we have the right to bear arms, but not the right to breathe fresh air? Growing up in Edison, in the Garden State, should reflect a childhood filled with hope, health, and peace of mind, not disease, inhalers, and boil water advisories. I'm here speaking on behalf of fellow friends and students and others that are tired of being paralyzed, watching protections being sacrificed. The New Jersey Student Sustainability Coalition, which I'm a member of, it has been working to build support for the Green Amendment constantly for over 5 years. This amendment will bring people out to vote and will be popular in New Jersey. In New York, their Green Amendment was passed by over 70% of voters. Let's allow our residents to vote on whether a healthy environment is a constitutional right as well. Edison is cleaner thanks to the efforts of this council and many others. But this is the time for you to show that you care about New Jersey's youth and wildlife. Ultimately, we are the generation that is growing up with a constant fear of environmental destruction. We are the generation that learns about climate disasters in classrooms and walks out to find them at our doorstep. Show us that you will take bold action now when it matters most. Make this the moment where Edison leads by example, where you choose to stand for the people, for the future, and for the right to a healthy environment by endorsing the New Jersey Green Amendment. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
I wanted to know why you had the high school girl give her address. I mean, there's kids here. I don't think, they should be able to, they should have to give their address. Maybe you should say like, oh, you don't have to give your address, but you guys always want it. That's the same reason he doesn't like to give his name. I don't like to give my address. I have 3 kids at home. People might retaliate. People might want to follow her home. Who knows? You know what I mean? So I'm here tonight to call out the absolute bullshit going down in this council. Let's start off with the disgraceful incident involving Christo and the business administrator. She didn't just file a false police report. She fucking lied under oath. And what did the assholes do? You covered it up. You dumped over $100,000 of taxpayer money to try and silence Christo and keep him out of these meetings. All planned behind closed doors like the shady, gutless cowards you are, thinking no one would find out, but we did. Shame on you, Harris. Just like Nish Patel, you'll never be forgiven for betraying the very principles this country is built on. And Brescher, Patel, you sat there in silence and didn't say anything while the First Amendment was getting dragged through the mud. That makes you complicit. You saw it, you know what happened. What's the saying? See something, say something. So here's your moment. Speak up. You watched as your Blue Line gang was called to remove me multiple times for simply trying to play the meeting minutes or read a public report. I tried to be respectful. I reached out to Harris, Brescher, and even Patel, and guess what? None of you guys, exactly, crickets. None of you guys reached out. Don't care about free speech. When I was kicked out, Margot, you didn't even walk out the meeting like you usually do out the front door. You walked out the back with some escape route like a darn coward. The real kicker is your relentless, pathetic war on free speech. You ban the American flag and the fucking Constitution from these meetings. Seriously, Joe, how the fuck can you even justify that that didn't happen? People were dragged out for holding symbols of democracy, and you sat there like spineless, yes, little men. Are we getting that, First Amendment attorney? Joe, you're going to apologize? Was the flag banned? Was the Constitution banned? Was masks banned? Was I banned from speaking? Was I? Was my First Amendment rights violated here in these chambers for talking about an incident that happened right over there? I think so. I think members of the public would agree to that as well. But none of you guys can really seem to figure that out. It's okay to talk about things that happen here. Here. But I'm not allowed. So if I played the minutes of the meeting or read the minutes of the meeting, I would be kicked out for that. That's fucking crazy. That's insane. So the next meeting, watch out.
Joel?
Oh, Council President,
Yes,
like to comment?
sure.
We've been doing this for, I don't know, 3 years now. I do believe rights have been violated in this council chamber over and over. Unfortunately, it's not, what we're getting from legal is that it's not, okay? I tend to, I agree with the speakers, okay? I'm one person here. I'm not allowed to speak when they go to bring you out. I'm only allowed to speak at certain times. If you make a comment, I can speak. I can make a comment at the end of the meeting, I can speak. If there's a resolution, I can speak. Otherwise, I myself am out of order. I'm not council president, so council president is ultimately the one that decides who leaves and who goes and who stays, and it's strictly up to her. I know that there have been, what do we call those, tort claims? Of which, to be quite honest with you, a tort claim to me means that you're going to tell me that you are potentially going to sue me one day. I'll be honest with you, if my rights were violated like your rights were all violated and everybody was in here, I personally would have sued probably 2 years ago. Because I wouldn't just file a tort claim. When I had colleagues that were trying to silence me, I told them that I would sue them. And you understand this, it's not an animosity to sue someone. It's just a disagreement of ideas, right? To me, like, it's not a threat when you say you're gonna sue someone. You have a disagreement of ideas, and it's the way that in the civil society, you settle those things. So you sue, you go to court, some judge makes a decision, and if you don't like it, you can appeal it. It's really a pretty good system overall. I wish people would use it more instead of taking it as a threat, because I don't look at it as a threat. And I myself have been sued, and it's a pain in the neck when I got to hire an attorney. I prefer to go in myself, and well, I go in myself and I lose sometimes because I'm not an attorney and don't know the right time to put evidence in. But seeing Christo, someone that has no legal experience whatsoever, he keeps on being successful. So, I guess there is opportunity for just a regular working man to, be able to be a success at this. I'm sorry if you were cut off. I apologize that on behalf of the council. But like I said, I'm just one person here. I think if we had a different administration, things would be different. You can tell different towns treat things differently. Thank you.